G'day viewers. My name's Greg and I'm a lifelong mad Liverpool supporter. And I can tell, we mostly can tell by the screen what I'm going to go on about. Heard that Chelsea sacked Conte, and I just finished watching this short Italian interview they did with Conte, and man, he let rip into Chelsea. It's on YouTube. I didn't get the link because I'm a slacker, but you'll find it. And he just ripped into Chelsea, and um, Chelsea are too big for the boots, like I watched a few videos and I've known about Chelsea and the way they do things for a while, and they just now it's starting to show how they've got to change their way or they're not going to win premierships, and they're going to get average coaches in because nobody will want to play, will want to coach or manage Chelsea when they're so restricted in what they can do, and I believe that was the big beef with Chelsea is that the board and the owner want to have the final say on the players, and that shouldn't be the case. Yeah, you have your interactions with the coaches and all the rest of that, but the final word should go to the coach. That's what you're paying him for. To within budget, bring in the players that he wants and get rid of the players he doesn't want. And Chelsea haven't done that. And I really think Conte's better off out of Chelsea because of that, because he can't be free to be himself and do what he wants. He's got one hand tied behind his back because Chelsea won't let him have the final say on who comes in and who goes. And that's what you employed him for, to have to win your Premier League titles and challenge for the Premier League and for Champions League and things like that. Um, and if you're not letting him have the free reign to do his thing, well, you're not going to get it. You're not going to win. And yeah, they won the Premier League last year, and they won the FA Cup this year. So more power to Conte for doing that. But to be consistent, to be always challenging for the Premier League and always challenging for a place in the Champions League and winning FA Cups and challenging for them, you got to let the coach do his thing, which is clearly evident with what's been going on with my team, Liverpool. Like, you know, what's going on there is substantial change, and the Liverpool board and owners have just gone, yep, you're running the show. We'll give you what you need. And if we have questions, we'll talk to you about it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the players and who you want and who you don't want, um, it's you've got the final word on that. And you know, since Klopp's been there, you can tell he's loving it, and the players are loving it because Klopp can do what he wants. The board comes in when they need to, but they let Klopp do his thing in the meantime and for the rest of the time, and it makes all the difference. Like Liverpool, I'm a lifelong Liverpool supporter. I've been following him since Craig. I'm an Aussie from Australia, the land down under, you guys, and only in geographical terms, I might add. Um, I've been following Liverpool since I was about 10, 11. I'm 54, and when Craig Johnson and Ian Rush used to play, Craig Johnson, the Aussie guy, and Ian Rush from England, um, and when we were winning everything. But then through whatever turn of events, we stopped winning, and we got all that curse of in the Premier League of winning against the better teams and losing against the lesser teams. And Klopp brought in Van Dijk and his style of play and his system, and it's no longer there now, and you can tell, and it's not just a flash in the pan change; it's a substantial change. And the players he's had that he's got in the team now, and how recently he's, like he two or three new signings for next year. Good quality players. We've got Shakira. Um, I'm not sure about. There's a couple of others that I can't think of because I've been so caught up in the World Cup, I haven't had time to have a good look and digest it all. But my point is that he's allowed to do what he wants as far as getting players in and getting players out. That he puts the board and all the rest of it. And at the end of the day, um, the board goes, "Yep, do your thing." Gives him the final say. But Chelsea don't do that. They want to have the final say and they want to dictate what the coach does. And any coach that's got one arm tied behind his back he's restricted, so he can't do his thing. And Chelsea, it's finally caught up with them. And they're going. And this year, like with the coach they brought in, that manager, Russie or whatever his name is, he's not up to Premier League standard. He just hasn't got what it takes. That's just how it is. I'm saying it how it is. He's got nothing on Conte. um, so Chelsea will be lucky if they finish in 10th or 11th spot this year, and most probably more to the point, they'll finish the season, this upcoming season, around 15th or 16th, I believe. And, you know, 5, 6 months into it, when this is all happening, they'll sack him. Chelsea will sack him and bring someone else and keep doing the same bloody thing. And then wonder and scratch their heads, why aren't we winning premierships anymore? Because they want to have the final say. They pay a manager and a coach millions of dollars, bring him in and go, right, you've got to do what we want you to do. Well, why'd you pay them millions of dollars for? They're shooting themselves in the foot. And I believe Conte came in thinking that he could do what he wanted as far as, the nucleus of the team and the players he wanted in and the players he wanted out. And because of that, not being able to do that, well, of course they clashed, and he didn't like David Luiz for whatever reasons, and that's his right. He's a coach. David Luiz obviously didn't fit into his system and style of play that he wanted, so he didn't play him. And David Luiz can whinge and bitch till the cows come home. At the end of the day, Conte was the coach and he could do what he wants. He wants his style of play and his system, and if David Luiz doesn't, it's not a negative on David Luiz. David Luiz is a beautiful, skillful player, but he just didn't fit into Conte's system, so he didn't play, which is fair enough. You pay Conte millions of dollars to do his thing, and even with all the restrictions, he still won Chelsea a Premier League and won the FA Cup this year. But you can't, and I noticed a lot with the Premier League. They'll get like Mark Hughes when they brought it for Southampton. He wasn't working out after 4 or 5 months, so they got rid of him, or however long it was. And it's a bit of a trend in the Premier League that, and I don't know, understand all the behind the scenes workings, like with sponsors and the multi-million-dollar industry and all the rest of that. But the beautiful example of not getting rid of a coach, doing your research, getting the coach in that you want, that you believe will gel with the team. If they gel, because you're letting them have free reign to do what you're paying them for, and they gel, fantastic. If they don't, well, yeah, then say, okay, we're clashing. We've let you do your thing, and it's not working. And then you get rid of him. You don't bring him in and say, well, you got to do it our way, with one hand tied behind your back, and well, then you're asking for trouble. But the beautiful example of it working is with Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool, my team, where it's taken a few seasons, but this year we finished fourth in the league after, you know, most seasons we finished around fifth or sixth, but we finished fourth in the league and we won a Champions League final. And if it wasn't for Ramos's martial arts move on Mo Salah, we would have had a good chance of winning that match. And I still can't believe that Ramos got away with that. He should not even a yellow card. He did it intentionally to take Mo Salah not just out in that moment, but out of the game. Ramos is a martial arts expert in some form of martial arts, and he knew what he was doing. He didn't just take him down in that moment to stop that run of play. he took him down and he could have released him, but he didn't. He held him and then jerked him to pop his shoulder out. And I researched Ramos, and he's a dirty player, and he takes everything to the nth degree. But anyway, back to that's done and dusted. Back to what's going on here. The Premier League got to wake up to themselves and stop being bigger than the boots. Yeah, it's a great league, but if you bring a coach in, you got to let him do his thing. And you let him do his thing, and it gels. You'll win premierships, and you'll be fighting for it each season. If you bring him in and it doesn't gel, even though you're letting him have free reign over who he brings in and who he brings out within the budget restraints and sponsorships and all the rest of that stuff, well, then fair enough. But too many teams in the Premier League, they want to bring somebody in that makes an instant impact, and they're fighting for champion. They're fighting for premierships just like that, and that's unrealistic. That's fantasy league stuff. That's fantasy. It doesn't happen like that. And Klopp's been a perfect example of that, where Liverpool have just let him do his thing. He's moulded the team. They got rid of that old curse of losing against the lesser teams and winning against the better teams. That's no longer in Liverpool, and it was there for decades. And it used to be the worst thing ever, and it was so frustrating. But that's gone because he brought in Van Dijk and then applied his system to the defence and around Van Dijk as the defence leader, and now it's not an issue. Now that the team, he's got the connection in with Milner and who else in the midfield? I can't think of his name. And with Henderson, so it's all linked now, and with Mo Salah and Mane and Bobby Firmino up front, and with Ings as backup, we're a force to be reckoned with. We need some more players to bench players that are good quality, and I believe now we've got that with the Swiss player. What's his name? He played for Switzerland, and he plays in the English Premier League. Stocky little muscly guy. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but that's what I mean. Liverpool are building, continually building, getting, and Klopp's allowed to get the players he wants within the budget restraints, and so it's substantial change. It's progressing, and this year we'll be fighting for the title. This year we'll be fighting for the Premier League. We'll finish second or third, if not winning it, and we're in the Champions League again, and we most probably be challenging for the FA Cup as well, because Liverpool management and the owner let Klopp do his thing. He's taken 2 to 3, 4 seasons to bring this young group of inexperienced players up, and Karius is a beautiful example of that. Like, he stuffed up during the Champions League final, but they haven't sacked him. They've gone, okay, he's a work in progress. They believe in him, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of Liverpool. But Chelsea, the exact opposite of that. They want the board and the owner want to have the final say in the players, and Conte's restricted. The club's fallen apart. There's infighting because they're not free reign to do their thing. They want to control stuff, and not let the coach have free reign to get in who he wants and get rid of who he doesn't want, and have the final say, and they're not letting the coaches that bring in do that, and now it's come to bite them on the bum. And like I said, I can't see them finishing they definitely won't finish in the top 10, and they'll be lucky to finish 11th and 12th, and most probably 15th, because they want to have the Chelsea board and owner want to have the final say on the players, and they can't do that. They should have the final say on the budget and all the rest of it. And therefore, then the coach has got to go and you know get the players that he wants within that budget restraint. But that should be his only limitation. Get in who he wants within that budget restraint and get rid of who he doesn't want and use that money to get in the players he does want. And Chelsea aren't doing that, so until they fix that up, they're not going to win nothing, I don't reckon. They might fluke a couple of FA Cups and maybe a Premier League. I doubt it they'll ever win a Premier League again until they change their system. And they'll be lucky if they ever get in a Champions League final. They might get in the Champions League, but they won't be anywhere near the final because they won't have the quality of players to take them that far because the board want the final say. So there you have viewers. There's my 2 cents worth on it all. If you, whether you like or dislike or subscribe, I'm not too fussed, but I am interested in the interaction and the conversation and your points of view. If you agree with me, great. If you let me know. If you disagree with me, great. Let me know. Tell me your thoughts. But yeah, my name's Greg, and I'm glad. Like I say, I feel for Conte. But he's better off without Chelsea because now he can, you know, some team will snap him up, some club will snap him up, and he'll be able to do what he wants within the budget restraints, and he'll win him championships. And until Chelsea get their act together and grow up, and let the coach they bring in do what they pay him for, it's not going to change. They've got to have the coach have the final say. And with the coach they brought in this season, Arazi or whatever his name is, he's just not up to Premier League standard. And like I say, it's not going to go down too well. But anyway, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. And if anything, I hope you got a laugh from this because I do tend to bang on a bit. But anyway, if it's brought joy to your day or a good laugh and taking you out of troubles, well then, awesome. Mission accomplished. But yeah, like I say, if you want to leave a comment on the negatives and positives, if you agree, great. If you don't agree, also great. Let me know your thoughts. So yeah, my name's Greg and I'll be off. Bye for now. All the best.